Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and the first thing I'm going to share with you today is really interesting. What's interesting about this time of year is you begin to see some of the different companies come out, or different articles come out about their predictions for 2020. The last day or two, we have seen even Ripple come out with some pretty bold predictions. Well, now I'm about to show you a report that was put out by one of the most important companies in blockchain. But first I want to show you who the company is and why you should be excited about what their report says. This is XRP, and I want to show you who they are. XRP is a leading venture firm in the blockchain industry. In the last 7 years, we've made over 80 investments in companies and protocols in the sectors across different stages, geographies, and asset types. This shows their portfolio, 300 million in assets under management, 9 dedicated investment professionals, funds to date. Now let's show you who these guys have their hand. I mean, they're like the digital currency group. These guys have their hands in almost every important digital asset company in the space, period. And that includes Ripple. Let's look at their portfolio just to give you an idea. I'll just throw some names out that jump out at me. Abra, BitGo, which is the custody company, Bitwise, let's see, Blockstream, Blockstack, Coinbase. These are just some of the things they're invested in. Harbor, we've talked about on this channel before. Masari, LedgerX, Kraken. Keep going. We'll keep going. Ripple. They've invested in Ripple. Securitize, that's the company that's tokenizing assets. Shapeshift. But you'll see Zoppo. So this company has their hands in just about everything. So now, if you think that if anyone knows what is coming and what the next year or so is going to look like in crypto, guys like this, these are the money men. These are the guys that have their ears and eyes to the ground. They know what's going on. So this is their report that they put out called The State of Crypto. And I'm going to scroll down to page 64, I believe it was. Let's go down. This is the section where they talk about looking ahead. Okay. Now, as I show you this, you've heard me talk a lot. You've heard a lot of YouTubers, a lot of different people talk about, oh, yeah, this is going to happen, and we're so in the early stages. Well, now you're going to hear it from one of the largest asset management companies in blockchain that owns a piece of just about every important blockchain company, and they're going to show you how early that we are in the stage so that this can really register with you where you are and the opportunity that you are sitting on as an XRP investor. Look at this. Looking ahead, industry maturation. Crypto remains in early stages with a majority of user traction congregating around onboarding exchanges. As industry matures, expect increase in M&A activity. Prediction, our team shares our bold predictions around regulatory landscape, DeFi, and more. Zooming out. Now, my father for a long time has anytime he's seen me get stressed out or get upset about things, whether it was when I was working with him in the building business or even now, he tells me to zoom out, take a step back. Let's look at the big picture. That is what Blockchain Capital is showing you right here. They're telling you to zoom out. Zoom out on crypto shows we are in the early stages. Crypto assets are $0.25 trillion. They're comparing it to Apple's market cap, gold's market cap, the global stock market, the global supply of money. So you can see, no matter how sickened you get by the prices today, you can see just by looking at this one chart, and it's not me showing it to you, it's Blockchain Capital showing it to you. And there's a difference. These guys know what's coming. Now, this is even more interesting. Crypto is still in the early onboarding phase. Now look at this, what they're referring to as the onboarding phase. Think Prodigy. Now, for those of you that were around when the internet started, I've talked about this a lot on this channel. The onboarding phase, Prodigy, America Online, Earthlink, CompuServe. And then they say the next phase, the opportunities beyond onboarding, is when you start getting the Google, Amazon, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Okay, so imagine if you were invested, this is the 1980s and early 90s. Imagine if you were invested at this point. They're telling you this is where you are right now if you're invested in crypto. And then they show you what happened as the industry matured in the 2010s. That's how much further there is to go in this. And then they show they show here that we are onboarding companies are typically exchanges and others providing on ramps to crypto. But there's so much ahead of us, so much growth that's still ahead of us. Okay, I wanted to skip that one and that one. And I wanted to show you this. As industry reaches inflection point, M&A activity is expected to increase. And what they're basically saying, mergers and acquisitions, and you'll see a lot of these companies begin to get acquired and merge with each other and this type of thing. And then they say, but the incumbents are quickly devising their blockchain strategies, Fidelity, Visa, PayPal, MasterCard, and then that's Amazon Web Services, I believe, Microsoft. But then here's their predictions, and I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm going to pick a few. One, the crypto company is acquired for more than 500 million. Value locked in DeFi hits 5 billion. In the face of competition from China, Libra will receive the green light for a dollar-backed stable coin. Federal judge rules against the SEC in a crypto case. And then let's go down. FinCEN FATF holds stablecoins to a stricter standard than paper cash by requiring broad application. KYC AML becomes the primary regulatory background for DeFi. Privacy coins are delisted from major exchanges. Bitcoin price blows past all-time high, folks. Let me read that again. Bitcoin price blows past all-time high. This is their 2020 predictions. Okay. Now, what else do I have to say, folks? I mean, don't take my word for it. Blockchain Capital would be probably one of the top 2 most connected companies in this industry. They're not saying these things or making these predictions and going out on a limb like this without knowing things. All right, moving along. This is from XRP Wizard, sent me this. And I thought this was pretty interesting. Poloniex, I was kind of surprised by this. Poloniex offers KYC-free registration. Will regulators object to it? If you remember, Poloniex is an exchange that's owned by Circle, I think. And Circle is invested in by Goldman Sachs. Well, Poloniex left the United States because of the regulatory requirements not too long ago. I believe they went to Malta. This is surprising against the backdrop of KYC being a big deal across the world. I would not think that they would go in the opposite direction, but they have. It'll be interesting to keep your eye on this. Chinu Patel at Chinu Patel 29 sent me this. Just want to read you the title because I think it's true. Ripple, and there's 2 points I want to get out of this. The first is, you see what happens when you get on CNBC, all of a sudden, some of the bigger financial news media outlets begin to pick up the news. And this is how the FOMO begins. Ripple is thriving off of the failures of antique Swift system. Market analyst tells boom bust. I'm not going into that article. I just wanted to show you that title, but you can see how the cascading effect of FOMO starts. Sam Lasco tweeted this. In Venezuela this year, stocks are up by 4,670%. Gold is up by 87,400%. Pretty interesting stuff there. All right, and next, this is from Rhythm Trader. More than 9% of Americans are reported to hold Bitcoin, and likely greater than 1% of the world does, whereas 56% worldwide has access to the internet and 42% have smartphones. That's room for a 40 times increase in Bitcoin user base as it stands today. You didn't miss the ship. We're still building it. Now, if these numbers go for Bitcoin, imagine what the numbers are for XRP, because even less people have heard of Ripple and XRP. Okay, next, Michelle Vandenberg sent me this. This is more about all of this ridiculous stuff going on at the Fed. This is from a guy. This Sven Henrik is he's like an analyst type guy. The Fed is also prepared to inject up to $490 billion around December 31st. Absolute madness with zero accountability as to collateral consequences. And this is a Bloomberg article he's tweeting. The Fed has plans to keep intervening into 2020. At some point, this just explodes, folks. I think we all know that by now. And then Marcus Treacher, interesting article, good insights. This will be the third person from Ripple who has referred. The first, if you remember, was Chris Larson, who inferred on stage at a Money 2020 that a global financial crisis, XRP might be able to help from a liquidity perspective. Then in the report put out by Ripple the other day, Ethan Beard made a comment that inferred that crypto and XRP could be like a safe haven asset moving forward in a financial crisis scenario. And now Marcus Treacher's tweeting this out and saying, good insights. A decade of quantitative easing has paved the way for the age of digital currency. Good read. Check out this article. So basically, the gist of it is all the money printing, like we've been saying here for the last 2 years, all the money printing makes digital assets ripe as a safe haven asset. That's exactly what he's inferring here. And then Michael at VAL5 links. Apparently, the funds, while not needed to fund operations, will give the company balance sheet flexibility as it looks to hire upwards of 150 new employees in 2020 and introduce new overseas offices to facilitate said employee additions. There you go. That's kind of what Ripple talking about why they got the 200 million for balance sheet flexibility, and it looks they're going to add employees. No telling what they're going to do as far as acquiring. XRP Crypto Wolf. Ripple and XRP got a lot of mainstream news coverage because of the 200 million Series C round. I'm hoping that piqued the curiosity of many people to do some research so they can start buying XRP this upcoming week, because we definitely need new money to enter the crypto space. I am dying to add to my bags in the next day or two before Christmas, because many of the bull runs we've seen have happened when people get together for Thanksgiving and Christmas. And if there's any time where people are primed to talk a lot about what's going on with Ripple, it's going to be over Christmas this year. So yeah, I'm going to be adding if I can. X-Men XRP at XRP33 sent me this. He said that this is the most interesting video he's seen all year about having to do with digital assets and Ripple. ECB, this is from XRP Darren, definite follow, at Fame21 more. ECB honored board member Benoit Curry's challenge ahead of monetary, whatever. Bottom line is you can go head of monetary. This is from his Patreon group. So go watch this video, and you might want to join his Patreon as well. Then there's this from the crypto utility guy at utility guy 7. Let me refresh that. My computer did a little glitchy there. The Fed's repo problems are only the beginning as the biggest bubble in history looks ready to pop. The Fed's repo problems, real dollar liquidity crisis is brewing. Europe, Deutsche Bank is at the center of the storm. Major bank failures on the horizon. You better believe it. I think this guy is a Bitcoin maxi, but I just thought it was great, even though he's trying to be sarcastic here. I thought it was a great, picture and tweet. Ripple's founders, Chris Larson and Jed McCaleb, discovering XRP. San Francisco, 2012, colorized. Even though he's not a Ripple fan, I'm going to take this photo. I love it. And I'm going to make it a thumbnail for this video, because when they created Ripple, it was like discovering oil. Now, awesome. This guy makes me laugh every time I see him because he looks so serious. I love this picture especially. This guy looks like a sharp cat every time I see him. He's a prosthodontist, implant and cosmetic dentistry, and he went to Harvard University. Must be a sharp dude. But anyway, he sent me this, which I thought was an excellent quote and so true, from Billionaire Secrets. Don't hesitate. Don't doubt. Don't worry about failing. You were born to do this. You are going to succeed. Just a matter of time. I have always viewed life that way. And anyone who views life any way other than that, just go ahead and be a loser. Because the path to loserdom is to take a negative attitude towards life and everything in it. If you want to be a loser, take the negative path. It's a great path for you if that's what you want. If you want to be a winner, don't hesitate. Don't doubt. Don't worry about failing. You were born to do this. You are going to succeed. Just a matter of time. Take that kind of attitude towards life. Trust me on that one. That's not even up for debate. By the way, if you haven't already, even though it probably won't get here for Christmas, the Christmas deal is still there. The Ledger Nano S, they're giving you a deal. You can get an S and an X. Usually it's 178. Now it's 119 for this Christmas deal. You can get this. I've got a link in the description of all of my videos. Also, if you haven't yet, you're going to regret it very soon if you haven't joined my Patreon group. It's in the description of my videos. It's only $4.99 a month. DigitalAssetInsiders.com is where you can go to join if you don't want to click on the link in my description. Now, in the next week, and I'm having a conference call tomorrow, I'm going to announce how my members, all the members of the group, existing members and future members, from then on will be able to save it's going to be right at $60, $59 and something cents. I'm working a deal with a company that's going to give you that kind of savings if you're interested in this particular thing. But not just that, I am working with several different companies on more and more savings. And in fact, there's going to be so many savings and discounts that at some point, it's going to literally, in the next week, it's going to literally cost you money not to be a part of the Patreon group. That's how exciting all this is. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe and hit the like button and tell your friends and family that even though it won't be there by Christmas, the Christmas pack is available. Look in the description of all my videos. If you want to save money, and I mean a lot of money coming here in the next week or two, join my Patreon group, and you also get all of my videos ad-free. I continue to do my videos every day on YouTube for just like I always have. This is extra things that I do in addition to this. Thank you for listening.